I have been sitting, staring at this bike for like 2 weeks now. If you haven't watched the video where I went and built this whole thing up and showed you guys the parts I was running on it, then you probably don't know that I have the new SRAM DB brakes and waiting on a new bleed kit and yada, yada, yada. The important thing is the bike is built up, it's ready to go. We've got some techie climbs planned for tonight, some techie descents. So we're gonna see what this Wildcat 125 is all about. All right, we are climbing the Giddy Up Trail up to the top of Masha's, following the beautiful Sendy Wendy and the oh so handsome Sprocket, the dirt jump dog. He elected to come with us today because I think our total ride length is going to be like 4 or 5 miles. So Sprocket can hang on those types of distances. So far, the Wildcat has felt pretty dang good. There's a little techie climb, I don't know, half mile back before I started recording. I actually thought I had started recording and I didn't. Always look for the red dot, guys. But cleaned it, no problem, no pedal strikes. I did check after I'd already used like half of my rear travel. I did get out of the saddle a little bit, but still, I might want to put a little bit more air in the back here. The front's pretty good. Speaking of suspension, I set up this DVO stuff here. I was a little disappointed. One of the things I was most excited about for this fork was the OTT, or off the top adjustment, which my understanding is that it functioned like a volume spacer, but you didn't need to use a volume spacer. It was a spring and you could adjust it and it would kind of affect how much resistance the bottom up there was, how much it ramped up on the last bit of the suspension stroke. Well, it turns out that on the D2 fork, yes, it has OTT, but it's internally adjustable. So you need to drop the lower legs and then insert a spacer. So instead of it being easier than putting in a volume token on a Fox or RockShox fork, it's actually significantly harder. So that's a bit of a bummer, because I have a feeling that I'm gonna be going through this travel. I weigh about 200 pounds and tend to push bikes pretty hard. This 125, 140 mil trail or even down country bike is gonna be my bike park bike this summer. So it's gonna see a little bit of abuse. Oh, see a Sprocket. Must have found something cool. In the back, however, you can still adjust it with kind of a standard clip and volume token. Again, like you'd see on the big brand shocks. Right now I just have it completely stock. I didn't even check to see how many spaces are in there, but I'll use this ride as kind of a benchmark to see how much I want to adjust that down the road. This guy, on the other hand, feels like it's handling these techie little climbs with ease. It's amazing the difference 125 mils of travel as opposed to 0 can have of just maintaining traction. Pretty fun. I know why people ride these squishy bikes. So I'm not big on weighing bikes. I don't know. I do have a titanium single speed hardtail, and I can tell you that this is heavier than that bike. But it feels still like relatively explosive. I don't know. It's not wallowing in the travel. It feels quick. Again, it doesn't feel, you know, single speed hardtail quick. And maybe I don't have enough comparison with like a similar, you know, maybe carbon trail bike, but I'm impressed. It doesn't feel sluggish. And if it did, I would be disappointed, because I really like kind of fast, snappy riding, climbing and descending. Reach feels great. I think this has about a 480 mil reach, which is on the longer side for a size large, kind of shorter travel bike like this. Chainstays are adjustable, 425 to 440. To fit my 29 by 2.4 inch tire on there, I have it pulled out pretty much all the way. And I definitely noticed that, like manualing around, bunny hopping in the parking lot, it's not nearly as, you know, poppy and happy to get that front end up as I tend to prefer. Going along with reach, this bike has a pretty average seat tube angle. I think it's 76 degrees. I'll put something in here to correct myself if I'm wrong. And that makes this seated climbing position for me at 6'1" with a pretty short torso for my height, really comfy. Again, I ride the RSD Middle Child, which is kind of the hardtail equivalent of this bike. So it makes sense that I would feel pretty much at home on it. The microshift drivetrain is doing great. Biggest cog in the back is 48. I have that paired with a 30 tooth chainring. I don't know the math on that. I'm too tired to do that, but it's enough for this trail. There's some steeper pitches for sure. And there might have been a time I would have liked a 50 or 52 tooth cog, but to be honest, not enough to pay a few $100 extra for. The 10-speed drivetrain, same with like the 9-speed stuff from Box Components, they're Prime 9. Those like wide range, but like 9 or 10-speed drivetrains, I think are the sweet spot, because the cassette's a lot lighter, and that's rotational weight that you're saving. So that's you're gonna feel that more. It's a lot cheaper. They stay indexed better. There's like a wider margin for error. Whoa. So anyway, I like that a lot, even if it means I have to work a little harder on the climbs. Speaking of climbs, last thing, because we're almost to the top. If you like this video and the content that we make on this channel, if you would please think about hitting the like and subscribe button. That would mean a ton. And after you've done that, it's gonna be time to do some descending. All right, top of Masha. I don't know if you can see it. Top of Giddy Up, going down Masha. All right, we made it to the descent. I did make a couple adjustments at the top. Number one, I was hearing some noise, so I looked in the back, and turns out the bolts on the dropouts, the adjustable dropouts, had loosened up. And I've had that happen on my Middle Child before too, and it's kind of unnerving. So I might try to put some like Loctite on those or something. You don't want your freaking dropouts loosening on a ride. I also checked the PSI, and it dropped about 20. That was kind of weird, but I think it might just be because, you know, breaking in the new shock. Maybe I hadn't kind of ran it through its cycle enough just yet, but now we're rolling. Feels good. We'll take some breaks along the way and see how sag is. Woo! Fun. Some big old little rock rolls like that around here. It's a pretty good trail to break in a 29-inch aggressive trail bike. Yeah. So I call it an aggressive trail bike, obviously. It's only 125 mils of travel, but where do I go? Where's the trail? Right here. It is a 65-degree head tube angle, which lets you get away with dumb crap like that. I don't really know this trail well, so I'm kind of riding it blind. I've only ridden it once before, but this bike has eaten up the rocks so far. Yeah. Pause for sunset view.
Yeah.
And suspension analysis. Again, use probably like 70% in the back and 70 in the front. Seems pretty good for the type of stuff we've been riding.
Not bad.
Yeah. All right. Onward ho. Let's find some more rocks to eat. Yum, yum, yum. Oh. Oh. Yeah. So for me and what I'm used to, this is kind of like a plow bike, you know? Like I'm coming off of short little 27.5-inch hardtails where it's all about line choice. And this thing, to me, oh, that was spicy. To me, this feels like I can just point it and go where I want. So places where I'd maybe be trying to, holy crap, lost my line there. So janky. Places where I'd usually be, you know, trying to like lift the bike up over things. I feel like I'm just kind of riding through on this bike. So again, that kind of tells you, I guess, maybe a little bit about my background, but also the personality of this bike. It, I would say, hits heavier than a typical 125 mil travel bike does. Phew, sick. So much slow speed jank in here, man. I'd forgotten how kind of slow this trail is. You have to be really stinking good to carry speed through here, even on a bigger bike. Yeah, sniper line right there. Sandy blown out corners. Tires kept their grip no problem. Yeah. Yeah. Fun, man. Oh, good stuff. Oh, man, this type of riding is so physical. Just getting beat to pieces by all these kind of like, I don't know, head-sized boulders. It's all over the place. Oh, like, you want to keep a little speed up, but you never know when there's going to be a random ass rock in the middle of anywhere. Oh, man. All right. I think we're back at the bottom. I thought there was a little flowy section at the end of that trail, but I think we missed it. I think we might have gotten off trail, but we definitely saw what this bike can do on tech. And it ate it up pretty good. I'm excited to take it out on a flowier trail, and like, it's kind of more my riding style, is more bike parky, jumpy flow lines. And I'm sure this bike is going to kill it on that kind of stuff. And if you've got more questions about the Wildcat 125 that I didn't cover today, go ahead and check out the video that I did of building this bike. I'll go ahead and put that in the description. I'll go ahead and link it on the screen as well, and you can also go ahead and drop those questions in the comments. I'll be sure to get down there and answer those for you. And while you're down there, if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and then you know what to do. Grab your bike, whatever it is, go for a ride, and hopefully we'll see you out there.